All right, time for the After the Show show.
Brian.
And if you were watching our live program, ladies, you know that we had a fella on from Canada. His name is Larry Mellon. And Larry joins us right now. Larry, tell us about the letter that your family has held preciously for the last 98 years from your then 7-year-old father.
I think the biggest thing to relate to your audience, as I have to my family, that there was so much back in those days, and my dad related that to me as he got older. That's why, hey, I've had a pretty good life, and one that I've appreciated so much because of things like this letter that my dad left to me.
Now, Larry, in the letter, your dad asked for a box of paints, a 9-cent reader, a school bag, any nuts and candy, and toys to spare. That hit me when I read the list, everything. It was such a great letter, but toys to spare. Most of us are asking, our whole list is every toy, that's on a commercial or in the stores. The lists are so long these days for the kids. And your dad wanted toys to spare. Tell us about your dad.
Well, you'd have to be myself when he says toys to spare. You're too young. But Santa Claus did have an awful size toy bag in that sleigh. And I can see that this morning just as much as I could 80 or 70 years ago, that there had to be a few extra in that big bag.
And he just wanted anything. He was grateful to have
That's right.
Yeah.
Anything.
I'm wondering how you think we get back to that sentiment today, where we're not wanting for everything.
Well, it isn't wrong, but we've certainly messed up a bit. When you can see my dad saying, I want the paints. People don't even know today what that means. That was a little metal box with some tablets in it that you, with water, dabbed in it, and you could paint with it. People say to me, what did your dad mean? He wanted some paint. Well, that's what it was, and that was something special. Most kids didn't have that to paint.
We remember this. Remember the colors would kind of collide and run into each other, and you'd have to wipe it off with the paper towel.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
But it was, and then when you look at that and the other things he asked for, I can remember not having new books, starting school every year. You either bought them from somebody you knew, okay, or there was places you could go and buy used school books. Right. Today, the school buys them or whatever. We've just changed to the point where there isn't the respect or the respect for all the materialism that we have today.
Yeah, that's true. And I think it's also important to even remember the reason for the season, the real true reason of Christmas, not just asking for things as we tend to do a lot. Things have really changed from back in the days. Thank you so much.
Larry, I wanted to ask you, what is a 9-cent reader? That is before my time, I think. Do you know what that is?
A 9-cent reader?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Well, a reader was
a book.
Hey, even when I went.
Like a weekly reader?
Like a little magazine in its day, right? Yeah.
No, but it was part of, when I started school, it was a 2-room schoolhouse. Hey, people say, what are you talking about, Larry? You're not that old. Well, yes, I was. Seaforth, Ontario, 50 miles from where you're now interviewing me. It was a 2-room schoolhouse. You had a reader, and there was so many minutes in every day that you had to read that book.
Right.
And then the teacher would say, Larry, would you read the next paragraph? So, or Johnny or Mary or Barbara, and that's how you learned to read.
You went to a two-room schoolhouse. I actually went to a 1-room schoolhouse in Industry, Kansas.
Did you?
Larry, thank you very much for joining us today, and thank you for sharing your father's letter with us. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
And a very blessed Christmas to all of you.
Thank you,
sir. And that's
Just in time.
Satellite ran out. Bye-bye. Good place to leave it. Sweet.
I want to be like you. I want to walk like you. Talk like you. You